Three main business pillars: acquisition, preservation and resource discovery. Resource discovery includes description, discovery, access and services to the public. Four guiding principles for fulfilling its documentary heritage mandate, i.e. significance, sufficiency, sustainability and society. Broad social context. Four key roles, i.e. foundation building. Relat New York Public Library. The New York Public Library is a public library system in New York City. With nearly 53 million items and 92 locations, the New York Public Library is the second largest public library in the United States, behind the Library of Congress, and the fourth largest in the world. It is a private, non-governmental, independently managed, non-profit corporation operating with both private and public financing. The library has branches in the boroughs of the Bronx, Manhattan, and Staten Island and affiliations with academic and professional libraries in the New York metropolitan area. The city's other two boroughs, Brooklyn and Queens, are not served by the New York Public Library System, but rather by their respective borough library systems, the Brooklyn Public Library and the Queens Public Library. The branch libraries are open to the general public and consist of circulating libraries. The New York Public Library also has 4 research libraries, which are also open to the general public. The library, officially chartered as the New York Public Library, Astor, Lenox, and Tilden Foundations, was developed in the 19th century, founded from an amalgamation of grassroots libraries and social libraries of bibliophiles and the wealthy, aided by the philanthropy of the wealthiest Americans of their age. The New York Public Library name may also refer to its main branch, which is easily recognizable by its lion statues named Patience and Fortitude that sit either side of the entrance. The branch was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1965, listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1966, and designated a New York City landmark in 1967. At the behest of Joseph Cogswell, John Jacob Astor placed a codicil in his will to bequeath $400,000, equivalent of $12.5 million in 2021, for the creation of a public library. After Astor's death in 1848, the resulting Board of Trustees executed the will's conditions and constructed the Astor Library in 1854 in the East Village. The library created was a free reference library. Its books were not permitted to circulate. By 1872, the Astor Library was described in The New York Times editorial as a major reference and research resource. But, popular it certainly is not, and, so greatly is it lacking in the essentials of a public library, that its stores might almost as well be under lock and key, for any access the masses of the people can get there too. An act of the New York State Legislature incorporated the Lenox Library in 1870. The library was built on Fifth Avenue, between 70th and 71st Streets, in 1877. Bibliophile and philanthropist James Lenox donated a vast collection of his Americana, artworks, manuscripts, and rare books, including the first Gutenberg Bible in the New World. 13. At its inception, the library charged admission and did not permit physical access to any literary items. The notable New York author Washington Irving was a close friend of Astor for decades and had helped the philanthropist design the Astor Library. Irving served as president of the library's Board of Trustees from 1848 until his death in 1859, shaping the library's collecting policies with his strong sensibility regarding European intellectual life. Subsequently, the library hired nationally prominent experts to guide its collections policies. They reported directly to directors John Shaw Billings, who also developed the National Library of Medicine, Edwin H. Anderson, Harry M. Leidenberg, Franklin F. Hopper, Ralph A. Beals, and Edward Freehaffer, 1954 to 1970. They emphasized expertise, objectivity, and a very broad worldwide range of knowledge in acquiring, preserving, organizing, and making available to the general population nearly 12 million books and 26.5 million additional items. The directors in turn reported to an elite board of trustees, chiefly elderly, well-educated, philanthropic, predominantly Protestant, upper-class white men with commanding positions in American society. They saw their role as protecting the library's autonomy from politicians as well as bestowing upon it status, resources, and prudent care. Ironship building, collaboration, program, integrated collection management processes, and transfer, formal agreements with third parties to fulfill its legislated mandate.